Hi, this is Peter Godinez, your ambassador, K80YTV.net, another Good Morning Oxnard. And again, one of my favorite segments here is, again, my mentor, the producer, executive producer. He does it all. He does the website. He just touches everything with his magical touch. And that is Mr. Bob Allen, and I use that term tightly. He's right here. He's right here. And he has some, great news. Again, always good news. Great talking to you, Bob. Always good seeing you. Tell us what's going on.
Peter, it's now just about middle August. We're looking at so many things on the horizon that we've worked so hard to get to that are all now coming to a point. So the first thing we really should talk about is that school's going to be starting soon.
I know. Can you feel the energy?
Well, we've going to do a nice beta test at the Career Education Center, and we're opening up the studio at Oxnard High School, which is going to be available to everybody in Ventura County, but because of the transportation, it looks like it's going to be a little bit more geared towards the Oxnard Union High School District.
Got to start somewhere. Yeah.
Yes, and what our goals are to have cameras in each of the facilities where they have competitions, and we're going to start in every one of the gyms. So we're going to put a very high resolution tilt, pan, and zoom camera in the gym that we're going to teach the students who are going to be part of the Career Education Center, and they will now become part of the first broadcast team at each of their schools. Our goal is to create a broadcast team the same as any varsity team.
That's exciting.
Like yesterday, I talked to the coach at Oxnard High School, the wrestling coach.
Who's that? I'm trying to remember
His name is Tom. I forget his last name, so you call me.
I'm sorry, because I
Tom
don't know.
okay?
I just haven't had my caffeine.
And
So.
we were talking about it yesterday. I went over to bring our stuff over to the studio, and it was like the school entrance was closed. You had to go around, and evidently they had the Raiders and Cowboys were over at River Ridge, the training facility, and the overflow parking was being done at Oxnard High School. So it was a little, but when I started talking to him about, starting in the gym with volleyball, he says, well, what about wrestling? So the interest is really there, and as he shared, he has one student who he thinks is going to be one of the top wrestlers in the county, maybe even the state, and this is a great way for them to maybe appear before coaches and have the possibility of scholarships.
That is so exciting, Bob. And I think as this year approaches, because there's a lot of iPads that were actually launched this past year. Oxnard School District, we had Anna Del Rios Barba, and knowing that they have some really great principals coming on board, and the fact that we're launching a lot of programs and launching people in careers, I think it's really an important time. This is very historic that you're talking about.
Well, it's interesting because he couldn't make it this week or next week, but in 2 weeks, we're going to have Larry Berlin, who is the new principal at the Career Education Center.
I heard that. That's exciting.
And the beauty of that is he comes out of athletics from Newbury Park High School.
Wow.
So we knew each other, I'm going to say, maybe 6 years ago.
Yeah. And wasn't that involved in some kind of media type thing?
Well, we were talking about getting the program started of broadcasting high school sports, and he was representing Newbury Park at a Conejo Valley School District discussion that we were having with Jeff Barstead and Jeff Davis a couple of years ago. So here is something like the whole thing is just flowing into the same thing. So the CEC is a very, very important segment of what we're about to embark on. We brought somebody in and we're talking about putting a data center in so that we could be broadcasting on our own servers, but but more than that, teaching the young high school students what this whole new technology is all about.
Gosh, I think a lot of them already kind of know something about it, you know? And we're mentoring them.
They know the technology, but they don't know the business side
Exactly.
of how to do that.
Exactly.
And that's what we're hoping we're going to be able to be working with them. So Larry is certainly, when we met each other and looked and knew that we had been together, it seemed like for some reason, here now the new principal is very well into athletics. And by the way, he is into photography too, but something different than most people do, underwater marine.
My gosh.
Yeah.
That's a real niche.
That is a niche. I knew one person before him. So anyway, the CEC is something very important in terms of what we're doing. We've gotten started with something like that. So I think the more we get the students involved, the better the program is going to be. And Dr. Tiffany Morris has just been an unbelievable
What a story. What a
guide, towards this. Okay?
And I'm having to get used to, and I get slapped every time I even say ROP, but now it's called the Educational Career Education Center, and formerly known as the ROP, the Regional Occupation Program. So ECE stands for the Educational Career. No,
CEC.
Okay, CEC, and like I said, it's a powerful source. I just think this is going to be an incredible year. I mean, as we start this.
What it is we're creating the infrastructure of something that, and we're focusing a little bit, it's Good Morning Oxnard, the Oxnard Union High School District is in our community.
Yes.
We have a great relationship with the principals, the superintendent. So it's an absolute natural for us to be working together towards putting something like that. So my hope is that the combination of being in the community, because that's the second thing that we're going to talk about, is basically we're working with the teen center. And hopefully today we'll have some special guests that's going to be something special from the Boys and Girls Club. So we're sitting here at Tomas's Restaurant, right on the corner, opening up before September 1st, is going to be the Corner Pocket. It's the old billiards place that is being transformed into a family-friendly atmosphere, where parents can go and shoot pool, teach their kids how to do that, but there's going to be arcade and computers accessible for the youngsters. While they're doing that, parents can sit down in a nice lounge and have a glass of wine or a beer, no hard alcohol. So it looks like something that we're going to be working with the 7th Street Teen Center to be able to do regular broadcasts from there. So what we're hoping is that, we'll be showing it live, and then we'd like to start inviting members of each of the community councils, okay? We'd like to come down on a regular basis to give an update about what's happening out in Channel Islands or South Oxnard or any of the 40 neighborhoods in the city of Oxnard. What we're trying to do is create the local Oxnard community channel and giving every resident the opportunity to see what the good things are happening in the community. So the first good thing to announce is the absolute opening of the new Corner Pocket.
It's the hub of activity, you might say.
Yep. So we're going to work very closely with them. The Garcia family has been here for a long time, and they're looking at doing something good for the community. Wow. Something that we've been
I tell you what I'm really proud to be a part of K80YTV.net and you is the fact that we're really maidens, and if you know what a maiden is, it's someone who connects people. And Bob, what you and the station represent is we're connecting generations and cultures, people who don't know one another, and we're doing a lot of that. We're doing a lot of the second degree of separation. You'll come up to me and say, "Do you know so and so?" And all of a sudden there's a history, after every interview, you'll come up and go, I didn't know you connected. And it's just so exciting, and I'm hoping that energy just transfers over to the people who are watching like that.
You know, this is something that it will, as we continue doing this and people see the things that we're trying to accomplish, it will become much more of an important part, truthfully, like the old press courier was in the city of Oxford.
Mm-hmm.
People couldn't get up without reading what was going on because it's all about local news, not about what's happening in Los Angeles or down in the border, but what is happening and how does it affect the residents of the city of Oxnard. That's what we hope kdtv.net/Oxnard is the Oxnard community channel. So we're trying to do as much as we can to try and help promote that. Now, we also get into other cities. We don't want everybody to know that we're just
Oxnard right here, right now.
You got that opportunity to be talking to people in Ventura.
I get that question a lot, and I'm just saying right now, your time's coming up, and right now, we're just focusing on Oxnard, and the time will come.
It's a very important thing, because we wanted to do it for everybody.
Yes.
I mean, we wanted to buy all the equipment, hire all the people, and we did find out that the old advertising model does not work.
No.
Nobody wanted to pay for that.
No.
So what we're looking at is a completely different model where we are empowering the people to be able to do their own broadcasts.
Exactly.
So when we're sitting up right across the street, we have the Garcia Mortuary.
Right.
Well, we have worked with them to put a complete tilt pan and zoom camera system throughout the chapel so that now memorials starting next month can be broadcast, streamed live, so relatives in all parts of the world can be there to start that. So that's what we're hoping to do throughout Ventura County, but we're starting it in Oxnard. The one thing another event that we will, and it'll be the 4th year that we're involved in it, that's an important thing we were talking about this morning. Every Labor Day, the city of Santa Paula has a beautiful parade down Main Street.
Mm-hmm.
And this will be the 4th year in a row that we've been broadcasting it. We normally stay across from Peggy Kelly, who is one of the reporters from the Santa Paula Times, good friend of ours and great personality, but always down the street was the Time Warner truck, there with their announcers and doing all the announcing.
Yeah.
And we did hear that this year that Time Warner has pulled back from doing not only the parade, the Santa Paula Labor Day parade, but they have given up on their Friday night football. The whole program has been changed around. So it looks like our timing of what we're doing with the CEC and all the various cities, because it's like when we talked about at the corner pocket, they have monitors all around. Well, if we were doing 3 Friday night football games from 3 Oxnard Union high schools, they could be streaming them live, and everybody could also be watching them and getting more interest in the sports and the teams themselves. So we've got a lot going on.
Absolutely incredible. And I don't know what else to say, but Bob, thank you so much.
We got one more big one. We always save the best time.
I got big for last. I never know. I'm like shaking and excited. Go ahead.
Today there's a lot going on, okay? September 12th, we've been asked by the Ventura County Veterans Association. They have arranged to be holding a Veterans Town Hall meeting at the Camarillo City Hall between Congresswoman Brownlee and Jeff Gorell. And the two of them will be answering questions submitted by the audience. And we will be streaming that live. It will be available in the archives afterwards. That is going to be strictly on Veterans Affairs questions. There's a lot more that we see that if we can educate the general public a little bit more, and rather than get into that, we have a segment today where we have a guest, Bob Taylor, from Councilman and from City of Camarillo. We've been talking about the possibility of utilizing KDPV to get some unencumbered answers to many of the questions that everybody wants without any confrontational approach. So we'll keep everybody informed on what's going on, but the whole objective is to educate our electorate.
I thought that was like top secret, that's why I didn't bring it up, but I'm glad you did. So I guess I'm not gonna have the opportunity to ask those questions, so I'm really excited about that opportunity. And I like the technique we're using too.
It's something that certainly, hopefully will be good. So I want to keep this up every Wednesday, but
We'll
it's
do.
still real good. I hope everybody who's clicked in sees the new format that we started with.
It's beautiful. I mean, my gosh, when I saw it, I was excited. And instead of not being able to know that, not most people know where the playlist is, but you have your choices of what you want. It's like a menu.
Well, but it says
Right there. And a picture paints 1,000 words, and you did a great job. So I always thought that makes, is there any more wisdom that's in your head that needs to be shared? It's a good practice. We're all good to go. Well, this is Peter Godinez with another segment of the Bob Allen. Did a phenomenal job. So see you next time.